What's going on, y'all? We're about to get started in a second. I'm going to send this link out, then we're going to go ahead and get started. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, what's going on, y'all? So we're about to go ahead and jump on these charts. Had to restart my computer, but we're back at it. We're just in time. So we're about to see what setups we can jump into. Had a pretty good week so far. It's been choppy though. The choppiness started yesterday. It's kind of been choppy last night as well. There was a few moves that happened when the news went off for Australia. And there's still a few moves that we're currently in. Me and the members took one trade last night during Asian session. Well, a little bit before Asian session. TP2 got hit. And so right now I'm about to see if there's any other possible setups we can jump into. London did just start. Kind of like how oil's looking. It's doing a retest. We're going to see how it affects, how this level affects it. So rejected the middle of this zone, is currently underneath this level. There's a wall that's kind of stuck underneath as well. It's doing a retest. So we're going to see how price reacts. Well, first, let's fix this level. We're going to mark that off. Does that look right? We'll mark this off. So again, I'm not jumping in anything right now. I just like to visually know what my trade idea is looking like, and things like that. So I'm not jumping in this trade right now. Just marking it off. Could have just done stop loss. I'm gonna put that like that for now. Gold, I'm gonna wait for it to come down to this daily level. Let's get rid of this. Because gold is doing as projected, it is struggling a little bit to break through this level of traffic. I either went over this with the members, or I went over this in the one-on-one session I had yesterday. I think I went over in both, but I know I went over it with one of my students in the one-on-one session. But we got this huge level of traffic right here, which is why gold is kind of stuck kind of at this level, this key level of price right here. But we want to see if we can break that today or later on this week. But we see all the USD pairs are doing slight retracements. So a lot of stuff are kind of in the middle of the zones, chilling. This is on the top of the zone, so this is a little bit different. This is a little bit different. This is on top of the zone right here. This is very choppy as well. So I'm going to just be watching to see how price reacts. It's currently chilling on a key support resistance level. And so we can go for possible scalp setups on Euro New Zealand, probably other New Zealand pairs as well. Let me set an alert on this. Let me see. Euro GBP finally retraced down, which is nice. So we're on this wall of price right here. We could jump into this as well. And I will go to the group chat blown up. I'm gonna look at the group chat after the stream's over. So if anyone's asking questions or if it wasn't answered already, I'm gonna jump in it after the stream. Let's see. I think I'll mark that off. Yeah, so literally just tap this level right here. So we can go for a possible buy on this as well. Kind of like how this is looking. This would be about a 1 to 5 risk, 1 to 3 risk to reward, which isn't too bad. That's enough wiggle room. Yeah, that's a good enough wiggle room for that trade. So I'm going to wait to see how this candlestick looks. So let me go ahead and mark this trade off as well. Give me 1 second. Yeah, but the start of this month, the volume was pretty nice, but it is towards the end of the month, so things are kind of slowing down. But there is some news, so I want to see if the news can help us get out of these levels of traffic and get back to smooth sailing like it's been so far. Still hasn't been a terrible week, but definitely has been choppy. We can tell that. We can tell by that just by the trades we took yesterday and last night. We did hit multiple TPs, but definitely was a struggle for price to hit those levels. And where is what I'm looking for? I don't see it, so I might need to add it. GBP, there we go. Yeah, I'm about to go look and see if there's any pairs that have some good setups right now. But we're going to keep an eye on this one. I was looking at GBP New Zealand. We could go for a possible sell on here. Looks a lot different from Euro New Zealand, as we can see. You see some similarities, but it looks a little bit different. We can see this was a huge choppy downtrend. We caught a lot of sells here during that month, and then it did a retest, dropped down. It's currently underneath this support and resistance level, treating as a resistance. So I do like this as a sell setup, especially because it did a nice drop right here. Did this retest already. It's kind of been chilling here. I've been watching it, and it's kind of just been chilling. It did a little drop, then came back up right in time for London. So I do kind of like this for a sell setup. So we're going to see how this candlestick and possibly the next candlestick reacts, and then we may or may not jump in on this, but we're going to see. And then in a second, we're going to go over how we did, how we did yesterday for the week so far. But let me see some retracements going on. Let me go to EuroCAD. It's Australia bank holiday, but that news really caused Australian pairs to pump like crazy last night. Like this was all from the news. It was here, and then later the news caused price to go literally zone to zone. So it's still continuing the uptrend, which is good. So from where it's currently at, it's either going to continue to climb up, or I wouldn't be surprised if we see a retest here because this is a huge imbalance, and the price possibly continue to pump back up. I can see either one of those things happening. But I believe today is a holiday it's a bank holiday for the AUD, if I'm not mistaken. What's today? Today's Wednesday. Yeah, so it was a bank holiday. We got orange folder news at 4 a.m. for the euro. Then at 10 a.m. we got Canadian bank rate statement. Then at 11 a.m. we got a press conference. And then Thursday, tomorrow, we got 8:30 red folder news for USD. Some orange folders. And then Friday, 8:30 again, USD red folder, and then 10 a.m. orange folder news. So yeah, I want to see if the choppiness can kind of end a little bit so we can possibly go for some setups. Still have a few things I'm looking at. But yeah, a lot of pairs are retracing or choppy right now. So we're going to see if we can jump into some things on this stream. But if not, if the setups ain't there, we're just going to wait for the setups to come to us. So GN is still kind of chilling right there. It's kind of created another wall of traffic. So that's going to either reject or break through this. So I'm going to wait to see how price reacts to this level of traffic, and of course, if it can still respect this wall and stay underneath the level of price. And so far it is doing so, but we see the JPY pairs are doing retracements, which is fine. I want to wait to see how price reacts to this daily level here and see if we can go for another buy possibly, because the JPY pairs have been slightly bullish. GJ hit the top of the zone yesterday. As you see, as soon as it hit the top of the zone, it rejected back down. So it's doing a retracement. So we're going to see how it reacts when it hits the bottom of the zone, and then we're going to go from there. But today I want to GU retrace back down to here. Let's look at GU. Yeah, so GU is in an interesting position as well. It's still bullish. It's been making highs, so we could possibly look for a buy. The last couple of days has been red. After hit the top of the zone, did a nice retracement. But so far, it's still respecting this daily level as a support level. So we could still possibly look for a buy setup there. So I want to see how this candlestick ends and how price reacts to this wall right here before we make that decision. What's going on? Shalom, brother. Part of the bank's group, 2 weeks up over. Hey, that's what's up. Shout out to you, Adrian. Shout out to you. That's what I like to see. Let's see if we can raise that number. But of course, we got to take it day by day. And yeah, so Euro CAD. So looks like the Canadian peso trying to pump up. Euro GBP, like how that's looking as well. So there are a few pairs we can possibly jump into in the next couple candlesticks. Euro New Zealand. It's got this wall of price right here as well. So we see some similarities with G and Euro New Zealand. Let's see here. And AED, so literally all the AED pairs with that news caused price to pump up. I went over this buy on yesterday's live. I did not take it. It ended up doing the full move. And then this is what happened when the news started. Literally this huge candlestick and the price just continued to pump up. So all the Australian pairs are kind of out of whack. So they kind of did some damage right before they started the bank holiday. Got price to where they needed it to before the banks were closed. Which was a pretty smart move. Yeah, but we're going to be looking at Euro GBP, Euro New Zealand possibly. But yeah, a lot of the pairs, especially the USD pairs and JPY pairs, are doing retracements right now, which is not a problem because retracements are part of the game. I do like how oil is doing. I like how oil is looking. We could possibly go for a sell on oil. Could possibly go for a sell on oil. Yeah, so there's a few pairs that I like what I see. Give me 1 second, y'all. Yeah, but we got 2 minutes until the next 15, so we're just going to wait for that. 1 second. Yeah, but we could see a possible drop to the downside on oil. Would not be surprised if we do see that. But we're still going to wait. We're still going to wait. It's at this lower price right here. And there's a little bit of traffic. So we're going to see how it reacts to these levels of traffic right here before we make that decision. And we're going to wait to see what oil is trying to do before we make that decision. But we are going to definitely keep that in mind. Let's see what else. So I'm going to keep that right here. I'm pulling up charts on my other screen to see what else I like. So give me 1 second, y'all. Price just hit 50 daily time frame. Let's see here. Yes, I'm gonna wait to see. I'm gonna still hold off on that. New 15 did just start. So I'm gonna see how these 15-minute candlesticks look like. Let's go back to gold. Gold's dropping down, which is fine. SPX did a nice retest and then spike up. We have a nice little rejection wick on the last daily candlestick, and we can see as of now, literally we see another rejection wick, slight rejection wick on this daily time frame. So we could still look for possible buys on SPX and the other indices. But again, we're still going to wait a few candlesticks minimum beforehand because it's kind of just been chilling here since markets opened. I've been looking at since markets opened. It hasn't really done much. It's done a little few moves, but it's kind of just been stagnant. So we're going to wait and see. We're going to look and see what this candlestick does in the next one, but we are keeping that in mind as well. So we're going to be looking at oil too. We see oil is trying, but it's still kind of stuck at this level right here. And let's see. Let's go back to GN. So GN is pushing up. So let's look at EN. Yeah, so a lot of things are very choppy right now, but we're still going to keep an eye on them. So I'm about to, actually, I'm not about to do that. I'm going to delete this right here. Yeah, so we see prices very choppy right now, but we're just going to be patiently waiting because setups are going to come into play. If not immediately, later on during the day when volume picks up. So I'm not tripping too much about that. Looks like USD pairs are trying to push up again. Are there any good entry setups? Not really, just GU. GU's the only one at a good entry setup. Kind of an indecision wick on the current 4 hours, about an hour and 45 minutes left on that 4-hour time frame candlestick. Could possibly go for a buy on this though. Yeah, but just prices is really choppy right now, so I'm just going to be waiting to see what price is trying to do before I jump in anything else. Because we can see possible reversals happening soon. Would not be too surprised if we see that. But as of now, price is still bullish on the bigger time frames. So I am going to still look for primarily buy setups on GU. And we can see here on the daily, a nice rejection wick off this level. We see prices currently trying to push up. So I do kind of like how this is looking. There's a few levels of traffic, but I do like how this is looking. So we're going to see how the price reacts here. We may jump in on this. We'll see. GJ still chilling in the middle of the zone. It's kind of been doing this again all Asian session, all night. Price has just been very choppy with a lot of pairs, kind of just chilling at their key price levels. So right now, I'm just waiting to see which direction they try to go and waiting for them to try to break out of those levels. Looks like EN is trying to make a move. Euro New Zealand's retracing back up as well. So yeah, we're just going to be waiting and watching the charts to see exactly what they're trying to do. And then we're going to go from there. It is trying to push up though. Yeah, so we're gonna be waiting. I'm still gonna keep an eye on that pair as well. Yeah, we still see pairs retracing down. Z-Link went over that yesterday. It's doing a lot better than other Canadian pairs. The AUD pairs, we're gonna leave those alone. This is still bullish, so we're gonna see if. I mean, it's a bank holiday. It could continue to try to explode up, but it kind of did some crazy pump before the holiday began. Got a lot of pairs retracing. USD CAS pushed back up to above this zone. So we're going to see how this candlestick ends. See what this candlestick does. But yeah, prices is really choppy right now. So we're just going to be patiently waiting for volume to pick up and for price to get out of these levels of traffic. Excuse me. Get out of these levels of traffic. So that might be okay. So we got some at 4 a.m. 10 a.m. Yeah, so it's probably gonna be another slow stream, but that happens. This is another reason I like to do the streams because before I did the streams, we used to have a lot of stuff to say, but the streams kind of helped make things more clear because sometimes people used to be like, "What's going on? You ain't calling nothing. Do you see any setups? What's going on? Why'd you call this trade? Why'd you call that trade?" So I started doing the streams one to show people that this is what I'm doing. Like I'm still on the charts, but you guys stick to your rules, and you also so y'all can see what I see. Like if price is just stuck at the same level of price for hours, I'm not going to jump in on a trade, or if price isn't at my key levels, I'm not going to enter a trade. You know what I'm saying? Just like with any other strategy, if your rules aren't met, you wait until your rules are met. Then you wait for confirmations, and then you execute. And you're not going to just be jumping into, trading is not just jumping into trades. It's mostly patiently waiting for the setups. Then when you're in a trade, it's the same thing, patiently waiting for the setup to do what it's going to do, which is either hit TP or SL. That's what trading is. It's a lot more to it, but that's like really trading is just really patience and just waiting for the setups. So we see gold still chilling on the 4-hour level as well. GU is looking attractive. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, everything else is very choppy, but I do kind of like how GU is looking. It's not really at the ideal entry. I would have liked to enter here. Started the move a couple candlesticks before I will enter a trade. Went over this yesterday though, but as of now, I kind of want to wait. I mean, could enter here, but I like to at least have a 1 to 2 risk to reward minimum. So I'm gonna see if it can retest this level, and if not, we're just going to wait for the next setup. GJ is still chilling. GN still respecting this level here. So we're going to see how this candlestick does and closes. But it did just create a huge wall of price and wall of traffic last night during Asian session. But we just see a lot of pairs either retracing right now or they're just chilling at their key levels of price. Besides the Australian pairs. So those things went crazy. Yeah, so we're just going to be patiently waiting. Just going to be patiently waiting. But this is how we did yesterday. We took 7 trades yesterday. Euro New Zealand, we caught 64 pips. All TPs got hit. Euro AUD, SL got hit. And then it dumped. Had like a student, I don't know if anyone else, but I know one person said in the group chat they had extended their stop loss and didn't get stopped out. It literally, and this is why you got to back test. Like I was talking about this in yesterday's stream as well. You got to take notes, all right? Winning trades, losing trades, all that stuff. Was it this trade? Yeah, it was this trade. So into this trade here was very choppy. Then it literally barely hit SL and then it dumped. And I was like, wow, I could have spread it out a little bit more because it still would have been a 1 or 2 if I spread it out the stop loss more. And then I went to the left. This is why I don't like to really delete my trade entries. I'll redo my zones, but I really tried my best not to delete my previous trade markups. And as you can see here, was it this one? No, it wasn't. I think it was a different one. It was this one. This was something we took earlier in the month, and my stop loss was all the way up here. This was still a 1 to 2 risk to reward, but my stop loss was a little bit higher, as you can see, compared to my stop loss that I called out yesterday. And if I would have used the stop loss, as you can see, price wouldn't have hit my stop loss, and we would have been able to catch this entire move down. So it's just another reason why you got to either write down your your past trade results, what the Telegram, and trading kind of helps me out with that. But this is why it's good to have a history of your past trades and how you did week by week, month by month. That way you can learn and improve from it. So your GBP is still holding and respecting this level here. But yeah, let me go back to what I was saying. So we took our first loss for the month. CHJPY, we caught 24 pips, called this trade live. Well, this trade live. GN, called this trade live as well, I believe. All TVs got hit 77 pips. Euro CAD, TB4 got hit, we caught 24 pips. USDX, all TVs got hit, we caught 1,700 pips. Then US30, this was a members only trade. TB4 got hit, we caught 9,100 pips. Total 10,989 pips. 10-1 for the week so far. 6-1 for that day. Then we only took one trade last night before Asian. We hit TP2. And that's literally it. Because again, just looking at the charts, y'all see what I see. So it kind of can help y'all understand what's going on. But price is just very, very choppy. Even if you go on your charts, whatever time frame you look at, price is very choppy. It's not really moving much. And if it is moving, you're looking at a small time frame. So I'm on a 15 right now, and we can see price has barely done anything. So gold is still respecting this level right here. GU, we're going to see if we can retest and then possibly determine if we're going to go for a buy or not. But price is retracing right now. So we're just going to wait for that retracement. SPX is still respecting this level right here, which is a good sign. I want to kind of change it to like right there. SPX is still respecting this level right here. US30 did a nice retest and push. Once it hit the middle of the zone, started to retrace down. So it makes sense why the other indices, the trio, is kind of following suit. So for NAS, we're going to see how price reacts to this middle of the zone and possibly see if we're going to go for a buy there, or we're going to wait for price to come down to here and then possibly there we go. And as y'all can see, I'm setting alerts now because I keep missing trades because I'll be tunnel vision on other trades. So I'm setting alerts now. But yeah, so we're just going to wait and see. But we could possibly, like I say, see a possible reversal. We are hitting key levels of traffic and key daily and 4-hour levels. So I wouldn't be surprised. But at the end of the day, price is still bullish. So I either want to look for a buy here or buy here. Either way, if price can still respect either one of these two levels, price is still bullish in my book and in my analysis. And if you're ever confused to determine, or how to determine, I should say, if price is bullish or bearish, or if a trend is possibly going to reverse or change, I will drop a link to one of my videos in a second that's going to help you out. And this is your first time clicking the channel and watching the stream, welcome. Appreciate y'all giving this channel a chance, my channel a chance. Make sure to hit that sub button and that bell, because we don't just live stream and live trade every day. London session, 3 a.m. EST, but I also drop helpful videos as well. Trade breakdowns, trading plan videos, trading psychology videos, trading tips, all that good stuff. I'm actually dropping another video today. I just got to finish editing it, but it's going to drop later on this afternoon, my time at least. I know I got people all around the world, but be on the lookout for that. But as of now, we're doing a nice little wait. So US oil did just break underneath that level there. So we could we could go for a sell here. I do like how I rejected that level. It's looking like a attractive sell possibility. That's a decent stop loss. That gives it plenty of wiggle room. So I kind of like how oil's looking right here. So we may jump into this one. Let's see. Kind of like how this is looking here. It's got some slight walls of traffic that might struggle to break, but it is trying to, so we might go for it. I do kind of like how it's looking. Wait to see it retest that level, retest that level. New candlestick did just start and is attempting to try to drop down. So we may jump into it. So I might write this up. So I'm going to put this on my other screen while I look at some other pairs. Then even look in the daily time frame. Nice retest and rejection off the daily candlestick. But we do got a lot of level of traffic that is going to struggle to break, right? We see price did the same thing here. Once it hit this wall, rejected back up. We currently see here that it is pushing back up, I should say. But it definitely is a good sign. But let's see here. And it did break underneath this level here. It's just this huge wall. It's either going to respect this and push back up, or we can see it come down to around the middle of the zone if it can break that level. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on that. Do like what I see though. SPX is pushing back up. Yeah. So we had some things pushing up. USDX is pushing back up. GBPJPY is pushing back up. Between the members are still holding that or re-entered. Gold's pushing back up. GN just rejected that level. Yeah, so there's a few setups forming a little bit. I still want to see how price reacts to this level first before we get too excited. Then also looking at oil, I got it on my other screen, but I'm just going to pull it up so y'all see what I'm talking about as well. We see oil did that nice drop, and now we see it doing a retest, which is not an issue. A retest is good. One will give us a better entry position, but it'll also help confirm or deny if our analysis is going to try to play out or not. So I'm not tripping too much about that. Let's see what the JPY pairs are up to. Trying to push back up. This is still chilling on that daily level. Canadian pairs are pushing back up. Zealand JPY is pushing back up. Yeah, so we're going to pay attention to GN. We're going to be paying attention to Euro GBP still, even though it's kind of chilling right now. We're going to be paying attention to gold. I don't know if I want to go for a buy here or not. I'd rather wait to, we'll see how price reacts, what the next couple candlesticks look like. We could possibly go for a buy on this. I want to see it break this level and continue bullish. That's what I want to see happen. But just because I want to see that happen doesn't mean it will. Just looking at the 4 hour, did do a nice drop. Could be doing a retest and then dropping down. So I'd rather wait until it hits one of the daily zones to enter a buy. That's what I'd rather do. But we can still see clearly that price is bullish. So it wouldn't be a terrible idea to try to go for a scalp off this 4 hour level either. All right, so oil just did a retest and then dropped again. I like that. That is a good sign in my book. So let me go ahead and post this disclaimer before we get started. Again, it's not New York session yet, but price is very choppy, but I do kind of like how this is looking here. And again, oil is one of those weird ones where an SL for this I got it at, we can say 81.35. Oil is one of the weird ones where this is the source I'm using on TradingView. US Oil, Black Bull. All right, because I know every broker funded accounts are a little bit more accurate than other accounts, but I do know that oil is one of those weird ones where the spreads are different on each broker and stuff like that, and the value is a little bit off and different on each broker. But like I said, SL for this I got at 81.35. So it is about 100 and let me do the math really quick. 81.35 minus 7980. It's about 155 pips stop loss, 1 to 2 and a half, almost 1 to 3 risk to reward, and it's currently pushing down. It just hit this level here, so I want to see if it can continue to drop. This is as far as it went last night before the retracement, but it did do a nice retest, not just the daily level, but this level. And then we just saw it was green, did a retest, and now it's trying to drop. So I feel confident that it will continue to try to attempt to drop down. So we're going to see if price is going to do that for us. Yeah, I like how it's looking though. So give me 1 second. So while we're doing that, I'm about to post the TPs and stuff in the channel. Just making sure I'm not missing anything else. Let me go put this back on this time frame here. I like how SPX is looking too. I want to see how this candlestick ends, what the next candlestick looks like though. Because again, it's kind of just been ranging. It's not showing me enough yet that it wants to try to push up. So I'm not going to pull the trigger on that one just yet. CJ trying to push back up. GBP's kind of just been chilling there. Yeah, so I'm about to go ahead and post these TPs. So it's at this wall of price right here. So we're going to see if we can break this wall of price, and then we're going to go from there. All right, so let's go ahead. So we see we have this wall right here. So we're going to see if we can break through this wall and catch some pips. That's what we're going to see. Let's see. 75. 65. And so if I'm quiet, that's because I am typing these TPs up. And again, if this is your first time on the channel, y'all just joined this week, make sure to read that disclaimer if you haven't before. It's the same one I post every day. Some stuff is common sense, others is not, but I just like to try to make it clear how my TPs work. Because I know when I first started this, I used to get messages all the time, and like people were like, yo, like your SLs and your TPs are a little bit different from most people's, which isn't an issue, but all right. So we're gonna see if we're gonna see if it's gonna do its thing on that. I'm gonna let this run. And there's a few other trades I'm looking at. Oh, I marked that perfect. All right, bet. There's a few other trades I'm looking at, but just patiently waiting. Looking at GN, I want to see what the next 15 looks like for this, which is about to start in about 4 minutes. Looking at the indices, they are trying to push up. I want to look at SPX as well. CJ is pushing back up. Things look like they're trying to push back down. CJ's reacting to the middle of the zone still. Yeah, so it's definitely still very choppy. So I'm not going to be jumping to a lot of trades as of now. Just going to patiently wait. It looks like it touched it, but I'm not going to count it until it breaks through it. Because I just posted all those TPs and stuff. So we're going to let that do its thing. Looks like the indices are trying to push up though. Yeah, but I think that's the only trade I'm really could have sworn I just moved this over. There we go. So I'm going to put oil on my other screen so we can look at some other pairs. Yeah, we're going to see what that does. Like how GN is looking, but again, it just created this huge wall of traffic last night. So I want to see how it reacts to it. It's hitting it good, but I want to see how this candlestick ends. I want to see what the next candlestick looks like as well before we jump into this one. So we're just going to be patiently waiting. Just going to be patiently waiting. Make sure USD pairs are pumping. So yeah, that would have been a nice entry on GU, but it is all good. Not tripping too much about that. So gold is still chilling at this 4-hour level. Looks like it might be trying to push up, but again, we're just going to have to wait and see what the next candlesticks look like and go from there, because it is kind of just stuck at this level right here. Same thing with SPX. So we got about 30 seconds to the next 15. So we're going to just look at GN. It's a strong candlestick, so I want to see what the next candlestick looks like. So while I was doing that, I'm looking at both trades. Well, we're only in oil right now. I'm looking at G on this one. I got oil on my other screen. So while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and drop that video that I was just talking about. So new 15 did just start. Give me 1 second. How to identify the trend. So it's starting off red. About to see what it does. I do like this though, so I am going to write this up. Oil's a red candlestick. It's going for around 2. Let's see if we can hit that TP and break through it. This is a green candlestick that's reacting to this level here, which is not a surprise. We could try to drop and continue to break through it though. 90.80 is what I'm going to say the SL is going to be. So the SL is going to be 90.80. So from where it's currently at, 984. About a 95, 100 pip stop loss. It's pretty standard on GBP New Zealand. So it's starting off red, so it's trying to break that level. So I do like that. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, it looks like it's about to attempt to try to break through that. Yeah, I do like how this is looking for a sell. I do like how this is looking, so we might enter this as well. It's trying to break through it, and it is overall bearish on the bigger time frames. So we might jump in on this. Did a nice retest. We saw how before it was up there, now it's down here. So I do like that. We do have some levels of traffic that I might struggle to break, but overall, price is bearish. Price is bearish overall, so I do like how it's looking. And price do try to break through that level, so we're going to see if we can break through this wall and then continue the pump and movement. So that's what I'm looking at right there. So that's what we're going to see if GN can do. And this is the only other setup I really like. The other ones I'm still going to wait on. So it might be just these two trades. I'm going to let these two run. Yeah, I like how this is looking. Give me 1 second. Entry. 80. Yeah, so the SL for this is going to be 90.80. Give me 1 second. 89. Yeah, so I'm about to mark these TPs up. I feel like I called this trade. What was this on Tuesday? Which was yesterday. Oh yeah, I called this trade live yesterday as well. I was like, this looks familiar. I was like, I could have sworn we entered GN, but we did. So I'm not tripping too much. Give me 1 second. I'm typing this stuff up. Yeah, so it's gonna be about 100 pip stop loss. And we're gonna see if it can respect that and break through. So yeah, these are the only two trades we're gonna be chilling in. Both of them are trying to dump down. I'll move that right there. And we're gonna go back to oil so y'all see what I see. Oil is going for around 2 second attempt on the drop. About to see if we can hit that. So I'm gonna keep that on this screen, even though price, when it comes to the first TP, likes to get camera shy sometimes when I put it on the spot. But we're gonna keep it on there for now. While I look at some other pairs on my other screen. Let's see here. Let me see something. It tapped it, but I don't know if it hit it. It tapped it though, but I don't know if it hit it. This new 5 minute did just start. Yeah, so it's very choppy right now, but we're still gonna go with the overall flow of price, and then we're gonna see if price can hit these levels. All right, so we just hit TP1 on oil. Just hit TP1 on oil. Make sure to hit that like button, y'all. Make sure to hit that like button. And another perk to the advanced play signal room is I actually went over this trade yesterday, and I had a different chart markup. Let me show you my other chart markup. Where my other chart markup was calling this sell way before these levels, as you can see here. And I went over this with shout out to Nathan in our one-on-one session. But he already knows we went over this trade, and I did enter this. Now, I did not call this trade out. The main reason why is because, again, we just look at yesterday. I called out 7 trades. And again, some still is common sense, others is not, but there is a lot of new people. And I get people that have small accounts that accidentally jump into bigger accounts and bigger trades, like, the indices and stuff like that. So I tried my best not to call too many trades out, especially since it was choppy yesterday. A couple were in drawdown for a little bit. And of course, as you know, especially over leverage, you got multiple trades in drawdown. You can risk blowing or over marginalizing. But that's where the advanced play signal room comes into play, because I literally every morning, about 2 hours, if not 3 hours before New York, I drop a video. Let me pull it up. I dropped the chart analysis breaking down the trades we're currently in, as well as possible setups. I talked about GU. I talked about EU, US30 EUSDX buys. This was way before I called that trade out. You see it was 6:03 a.m. Then later on, US30 ended up doing the move like I was talking about. Then also GU, EU, and oil ended up doing these trades. And as you can see, this was a different chart markup, but I called the oil sell way beforehand. So that's just another benefit of the advanced play signal room. And then if we go to the free signal room, because I did call GER30 and EUSDX. So I went over that 2 hours before New York. That was 6 a.m. And then almost an hour later, that's when we went to the EUSDX buys. It was very choppy. We hit the first TP, but then you see as we scroll down, it wasn't until 10, which was 4 hours later, that price started to pump and we started to knock those TPs out. So that just shows you price was very choppy. But if you stick to your rules and you go with the overall direction and flow of price, you have a higher percentage and higher chance of price going your way. So I just want to talk about that really quick. And oil is still dumping. We're a couple pips away from the second TP. Let's see what GN's up to. GN is about to actually hit TP1 as well. I did not post this in the free signal room because this is a members only trade. I like to try to even it out, but if it's an odd number, the members, of course, are going to get more trades than the free signal room. But let's see here. And we did just hit TP1 on GN. TP1 just got hit. Bam. So off to a great start so far. And again, it just comes down to patience. We've been on the stream since 3 a.m. It's now 3:54. So it took us a little while, almost an hour, to jump into trades. But there's not really a time limit on how long it should take to jump into a trade. You got your rules, you got your strategy. You just got to patiently trust your analysis, wait for the setups, wait for the confirmations, and then let the charts do what they do. Because like I say all the time in all my videos, and of course in like the Zoom calls and stuff like that, we do not control the markets. The markets do not care about us. There's people in buys right now. There's people in sells right now on every pair. They do not care what you're entering. The markets are going to do what they're going to do. So it's our job. Like I always say, we're just simply a leaf in the current, right? Or we're a surfer riding a wave. All right, the water don't care. Do you think the ocean wants us to, catch a gnarly wave or whatever they say? No, the ocean is going to do what it's going to do. The waves are going to still splash whether you're surfing or not. So it's our job to determine when the wave's coming, which way the wave's going, or if we're a leaf in the current, it's our job to determine which direction the current's going. That way we're not going against the current, aka against the trend. It's very simple, very simple. So when you do that, you have a proper risk to reward, and then you calculate your lot size, and then you trust your analysis, and your analysis is accurate, like has a high percentage accuracy. Then you just gotta let the charts do what they do. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta let the charts do what they do. Because if you enter a trade, you should be okay with what you're risking. If you're not okay with what you're risking, you're most likely over leveraging. If you do not like the red number on your screen, while you're in drawdown or when you enter a trade, because when you enter a trade, you're going to be in drawdown off rip anyways because of spread and charges. But there's two reasons why you don't like the red number on your screen. One, you over leveraged, or two, you do not do the math and not realize, that's what you're risking. Or three, you are scared to lose a trade, which granted is understandable. But again, you can't enter trades or trade and have the fear of losing a trade, because if you have the fear of losing a trade, you're going to end up not entering any trades or missing a lot of opportunities because of that fear. Hope that makes sense. But I'm still looking at some other pairs, but everything is just choppy right now. GN's it's kind of looking like it's about to do a repeat of yesterday, where after it hits a TP, it retraces and stuff like that. But that's not an issue because that does happen with all TPs that happen with oil as well. And that is mentioned in the disclaimer. Whoops. Quit trying to make me send emojis. Not this. Right here. Like I said, this disclaimer I post every morning. All right. Not every trade is guaranteed to go all the way to the final TP or in our favor. Every trade is posted. I personally enter. What else? Okay, when a TP is hit, it'll either reject or break through. So keep an eye on your charts. What happened when TP1 got hit? Rejected. Then what happened? The next candlestick, it broke through that TP. GN. What happened? Hit that TP. What happened? Rejected. And we're going to see if we can break through. But it doesn't happen all the time, right? A good example of that is the trade yesterday we took. Euro CAD that just broke back underneath. Hit a few TPs, rejected. After hit that last TP, came back up, was in drawdown, now just broke back underneath. Another example of that was, even yesterday with the EUSDX. Look at all these retracements and spikes, right? What was another trade we entered yesterday? We entered a few other trades. Was it Euro New Zealand? I don't even remember. Let me scroll up. What else did we enter yesterday? CJ, GN, Euro CAD, ESDX, Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, you can kind of see the same thing here. Hit a TP, retraced, hit a TP, retraced, retested its daily level, then dumped, hit the middle of the zone, spiked, came back down. Now look, it broke back underneath. That's all price does. There's these key price levels on every time frame. If I zoom out, you can see how. Well, let me bold these up so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Shoot, even this one right here, you can see how repeatedly price is treating this as a support or resistance level over and over and over and over and over again. Let's just use this golden one because it's simple to look at. This was today. Well, no, that's not today. This was, yeah, it was today. My bad. The 25th. This was the 18th. This was the 9th. Right? And let's keep scrolling. Look, still treating as a support resistance level. And this was all the way in November of last year. Let's keep scrolling. Oh, look here. Treating as a support resistance level again. This was September of last year. And if we keep scrolling, probably go on a bigger time frame because we are on the 15. Oh, looky here. We see price all the way a whole year ago in February 2021, January 2019, April 2018. What we see right here, this is all the way in 2016. So over 5 years. And then other pairs, I went over one with Nathan yesterday, and I also got a video on YouTube. I forgot what it's called, but it has back testing in the name. But one of these pairs was literally doing the same thing, reacting to the same level since the 90s. So if prices repeatedly for decades and historically, let's not even do decades. Let's just say even for the month or the week, repeatedly reacting the same way to these levels, who am I to ignore these levels or not to trade off of them? You get what I'm saying? So that's why I just patiently wait for price to come to these levels and then trade off of them personally. Speaking of which, we just hit another TP. Make sure to hit that like button, y'all. Make sure to hit that like button. TP2 just got hit. TP2 got hit. 79.55. I think we barely missed TP3 as well. GN hit that first TP. I think we hit it actually. Tapped it. Well, let's see if we're going to break through it. We're like one pip away. Okay. TP3 just got hit. Cool. Do 79.45 is the next TP. And then looking at GN, like I said, hit that first TP, retraced, retesting this level. But again, it's not surprised. This is kind of what happened yesterday. And again, like I said, we have this huge wall of price, this huge level of traffic. That price is struggling to try to break through. Doesn't mean it's impossible, but it is definitely struggling. Definitely struggling. Let me see what these trades are up to. Yeah, so the JPY pairs are still retracing down, probably because GJ is retracing back down to its daily level. So it's not too much of a surprise. Other pairs are kind of following suit. Not too much of an issue though. Gold's retracing as well. Let's see what these indices are up to. So Jersey USDX are still trying to pump up, but the trio NAS, SPX, and US30 are retracing, which is fine because we kind of want them to retrace anyway so we can get a good entry on them. So not too much of an issue. Let me go ahead and send this alert. Because I stay missing entries for no good reason. So I'm trying to stop doing that. Cool. And this is still chilling, respecting that daily level. But we got ESDX and JER30 still trying to push up. Everything else is still kind of choppy. Euro New Zealand still on that daily level. UGP dropped down. Still on here. We're still going to wait and see how price reacts. Might update these levels because I just pulled this chart up and I haven't traded Euro GBP in at least like 2 quarters. So I might need to update these levels to try to make them a little bit more relevant. But the levels right here are still good levels. That's why I kind of left them. But let's see here. Is an imbalance right here, so it could try to drop down back to this zone right here. Could try to do that. Just looking at it from a daily perspective. We're just going to have to wait and see what side of the zone it wants to respect or reject because it is on a key support resistance level. But we do have this imbalance here. That could be an issue. But yeah, I think these are the only trades we're going to enter for now. Everything else is just retracing or already started a move or kind of just stuck ranging. So we're just going to patiently wait to see if price can break out the range or after the retracement's complete. Did I even link that video I said I was going to link? I think I got sidetracked. I didn't even link it. So let me go ahead and link that first. Let me link those two videos. And I'm going to get better at this too because I always end up linking them at the end. I'll be trying to spread them out throughout the stream, but I just be getting sidetracked. So I might have them on another tab or another screen to make it a little bit easier. But give me 1 second. How to identify the trend. Know when the trend is changing. Yeah. All right, bam. So I'm going to go ahead and post this. Make sure to check that video out. Yeah, so yeah, the USD pairs are retracing, which is fine. These are the JPY pairs are retracing as well, which is fine because we probably get a good setup on GJ. Go ahead. Is there alert? There's an alert. Cool. Yeah, SPX is still respecting that level there. Yeah, so we ain't going to enter anything else as of now until possibly going closer into New York session. This price is very choppy right now, and there's not really any good setups as of now, at least. So like I said, the news-wise, we've got 10 a.m. Canadian news, and then 11 a.m. Australia has a bank holiday. Then tomorrow and Friday, same time, 8:30 a.m., we got red for the news for the USD, and that's it. So I want to see the choppiness end and have a good Thursday and Friday. But just because I want that doesn't mean it's going to happen. We're just going to have to wait and see and take it day by day and candlestick by candlestick. Let me see what your GBP's up to. Looks like your GBP's pushing back up. It's still respecting this daily level, which is a good sign. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this as well. Cool. Oil's doing a slight retest. Okay, no duh. I probably did a settings wrong for that alert. GN right back to where we were at. EuroCAD trying to drop back down. CJ, yeah, CJ after hit that second TP is retracing like the other JPY pairs. Yeah, which is not terrible because they're actually retracing back to good entries. And this level is a little too high. I don't know why I have this level right here. This is not a good entry level. There we go. I'm actually going to do, that's a decent entry level. Oh, thanks, JPY. Yeah, the JPY pairs are retracing down. So they're either going to retrace to that daily level and it's going to be a good buy setup, which we're going to wait and see how it reacts, or we're going to see if it's going to break through that level. But just like most of the pairs, price is kind of choppy. It's slightly bullish. So we could see potentially price do this, then continue to pump up. That's what I would like to see. But we're going to have to wait and see how price reacts when it hits that daily level. We'll have to wait and see how price reacts when it hits that daily level. And then we'll have to go from there. Make sure to follow me. I think it's on the bottom of your screen. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at playmaker_way. Same spelling as the YouTube. I post daily on there. Make sure to follow both, because some stuff I can't post on TikTok, and that stuff I post on Instagram. And then I also post daily on TikTok as well. So make sure to follow me on both. If you want to contact me directly, hit me up on Instagram in the DMs or hit me up on Telegram. We hit the first link in the description. I answer and respond to everyone within the day, if not within the hour, the earliest. I do get a lot of messages, but I do respond to everyone. I do go through all the messages. So if you got any questions, hit me up there. If you're interested in how to identify these levels, I do got a few videos on my YouTube channel. So after the stream, make sure to explore. Guarantee you're going to learn something. Or if you want to learn from me, I do have the course, which I think is the second link in the description. I also do one-on-one mentorships. Then, of course, I have the Advanced Play Signal Room, where we have the student member group chat. Also, where I showed y'all earlier in the stream, I dropped the chart analysis, also walk y'all through the trades, all that good stuff. So make sure to check that out as well. But I'm going to see y'all on tomorrow's stream, and we're going to see how these trades play out. We're already, that should already be nice and blue on US oil. We hit multiple TPs on that. We only hit one TP on GN. Then everything else is retracing, as we can see. So we're going to let those pairs retrace and see if we can get some good entries on these going into New York.